Hi, I'm Maggie Lukowski from Maggie Moon Tarot, and it's been a while. But I wanted to come on to first say Happy New Year and then to showcase a deck. I did buy a lot of decks last year, not as many. I've really been more conscious or mindful about what I'm buying in every area. But there's this one deck that I bought last year that I just fell in love with. Tarot for Kids, and it's by Theresa Reed, has written it, and the artwork is by Kailey Whitman. And I met Theresa. I've met her several times at the Reader Studio and had the pleasure of her taking us on tour in New York City and restaurants, and love her work. And she's very straightforward in all she does and all she teaches. Um, Classes, anything that she's presented, she is really the real deal. So when this deck came out, I was excited because when we are children, most of us don't get a chance, or at least my generation, because I am a breath away from turning 71 this year. There weren't really tarot decks for children, or wasn't as much available. So when I saw this, I thought, how great is this? But then it's the child inside of each one of us. So it can be used if you have little ones. This is a great way to introduce them to tarot. And the book is just exquisite. The way she's written it is very simple, straightforward, but really gives, it describes it with one word. She gives a little paragraph. She gives the reverse meanings of the card and also a question, because questions are really important when we read. And anytime let me show you the cards. Anytime I look at a deck, aren't they gorgeous? Anytime I look at a deck, there's certain cards that I first pick out, and the tarot birth cards, and mine is a star and strength. So I first go to those cards to see how it's represented, and I've got our candle lit. I always light a candle before a session, so I've got that lit. I'm partial to lavender. And so this was a star card. This is my birth card, one of my birth cards, tarot birth cards. And this is just amazing, the colors, and I am a fan of lavender. But the jar, she's pouring the water. The star card gives us faith, peace, hope, healing. And couldn't we use a little bit of that this year? But let me just go and talk to you about her description of this particular card. Hope for the best. When you see the star, know that things are improving. Even if life has been hard as of late, a silver lining is close at hand. Soon you'll feel positive. A wish may be coming true. The star could also mean that you'll be getting recognition. You might be the center of attention for something you've done. You're a star. And then reversed. I should have held the card up while I was talking, and then reversed when we have a reversed card. Many people read reversals. I read reversals. It says the star reverse could mean that you're having trouble finding inspiration or feeling inspired. Maybe you're bored or feeling meh. If you're sad or depressed, it might be a time to talk to someone. And then the question is, when do you feel the most inspired? And I think that's a question for all of us in the beginning of the year, because as we are leaving things behind, what's going to inspire us this year? Whether it's something personal in our job. I know last year I was very inspired to take some time off. I still had my business, but not do as much social, because my intention was to work on my health. So 2 hours of my day, I walk in the morning and the evening. I'm learning how to cook in new and different ways, and that takes time and it's fun. So I was inspired to do that. So this year, we may ask the question, what do we feel most inspired to do? And then the other birth card that is mine is the Strength card. And let me read that one. I always, and this is a beautiful representation of the Strength card. And this one says, you're brave. You've got this. The Strength card is a reminder that sometimes life isn't easy. When things get challenging, you must be brave and strong. Don't give up. You'll overcome the problems if you persist. If you're not sure you can handle a situation, get help. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is ask someone to help you out. And isn't that true? We're just so afraid sometimes to ask because we think we're supposed to have all the answers. But there are so many people around us here in the physical world and on the ethereal plane, whether it's people that have passed on that love us so much, our angels, our guardian angels, guides. So this is to remind us that we are strong, but sometimes we need to ask for help. And then reversed. So if we find this card coming up reversed, if strength is reversed, it might mean that your problems are too hard to handle on your own. A helping hand can turn this around. Sometimes this reversal could mean that you're feeling scared. It's okay to admit that. Talk to an adult that you trust. They can give you the support you need to find the strength in this situation. And the question is, when have you felt strong? And for a child, yes, talk to an adult, someone maybe that has had some experience, that has been there, that had those feelings. But if we're reading for our inner child, which I do a lot, my inner child looks to my wise self, because I think there are many selves inside of each one of us. One is our inner child, and then one is the humanness of our daily lives. And then there's that wise self, that soul, that divine that is in us. So when have you felt strong? So as we begin this year, maybe think back, when were the times that we felt strong? When were the times that we needed help? And who did we ask? And it also reminds us too that someone may ask us for help this year. So be available. And then I picked three cards at random. Here, let's take a look where the third one is. I don't know. That's okay. We'll go with the two. Oh, here it is. Okay, we'll go with the two. And I want to talk about the card stock, because as a reader, it's really important, the card stock. These are larger cards and I have smaller hands, but I have no problem doing the shuffle. I love the feel of the cards. They have a nice feel to them. That's important. Tactile, sensory feelings, that is important when you're reading. So I also wanted to bring that up. So it's interesting, the cards that came out. And the first card I will read from the book, but also I will give you my interpretation of what I feel is coming up for all of us. And the first card that came up is the Four of Coins. And for me, I'm seeing, it talks about resources. What are we going to do with our resources this year? Because coins are about things we can feel and touch. This is, definitely about money. I love these big coins. I have gold coins that I get from the bank. And when I have clients into my office for either the healing work, the Reiki work I do, or tarot, I will give them a gold coin, because in all cultures, most cultures, coins are good luck. So I love that this coin came up, but it's also, to me, it's thinking about where are we going to put our resources this year? And I'll read from the book. Sometimes this card can be holding on to something too tight. Or it could be, maybe it's reversed. Maybe we're careless about our resources. But let's read what Theresa has to say about the coins. Okay. Hold it up. Save for a rainy day. The Four of Cups means that it's time to put your money away. Even if you're tempted to spend it, keep some tucked away just in case. If you're saving up for a particular goal, this card says, keep it up. You'll get there. It's also a reminder to take good care of your belongings. However, watch for greed. There won't be enough for everyone else if you're trying to hog it all. And then reversed, turn it around. Sometimes this reversal means you're spending. Other times it can indicate letting go of things. In some cases, it's a symbol of losing money. Be practical, but be ready to release something if it's not worth it. And this card also spoke to me about the resources that I was using last year. And by giving up a lot of time that I would do with social media or doing my videos, it was a little hard because I really love doing them, but I knew that sometimes we have to release some things to be intentional or to go towards the things that we do want. So this spoke to me about my resources, and sometimes it is hard to release. So the question that she asked for this card is, what makes you feel secure? And for each one of us, it can be, and we can, even though it's a Pentacles card, it can be in any area of our life, but financially, is that something that, security right now? Is it in a relationship? Can be things are changing. Last year, the last couple of years, we felt different insecurities in many ways. So what does make us feel secure? And it can be the little things, because I think a lot of times in tarot or any kind of divination reading, we think of big things. Is it that cup of tea sitting next to your pet? Is that just a safe, cozy, secure feeling? Is security being able to go to bed at night and feel that your needs are taken care of? Waking up feeling like you are secure for that day. So that's a question I'll put out there. And then the other two cards that came up, change, which is often the death card in tarot. So let me look at, and that's about transitions. That's change. Things are moving. Things never stay the same. And I think children really do well. I mean, I think as adults, we get more fearful of change because maybe there's more risk. Things are bigger. And children do. Change can be difficult for children too. But I think children are just more flexible about things, more excited. Change can be, change can be good and sometimes not so good. So let's take a look and see what Theresa has to say. But everything has changed so much in our world. And it says change is on the way. Nothing lasts forever. Get it a little bit closer so you can see. Even if you're different now than you were a year ago, think about how much you've grown physically and emotionally. This card signals a change is on the way. Something is coming to an end. Make way for a new beginning. Don't be afraid of the changes that are happening within or around you. It's all good. And if it's reversed, maybe you're having trouble accepting a change. Change reverse can mean that you may not like the changes that are happening, but you'll find a way to roll with it. And in some cases, this reversal may mean that you need to change something in your life, like a relationship or a bad habit. And that was for me last year too. And it will be this year, and in different ways, some keeping that thread moving forward. But then there were some habits that I knew I wanted to change, and it was time. And sometimes it's not easy. And the question that she has is, what changes would you like to make in your life? So whatever happened last year, good, but not so good, there may have become blessings or lessons. But this year, or right now, what changes would you like to make in your life? Because it's always up to us. And then the last one, what a beautiful one. This is the lover's card, best friends. So, and being best friends with our lovers, there's nothing better than having them as your best friend. It's love and passion. It's all very wonderful and enchanting and exciting, but being best friends. And also about, just about the friends who are with us in our life or stick with us. And things change. People will come and go in our lives, and that's okay too, because there is a time and a place for everything. So let's see what Theresa has to say about best friends or the lovers. Okay. Be a good friend. When best friends shows up in a reading, tarot reading, it means that you've got a true friend by your side. It's also a reminder that you can practice being a good friend in many ways, offering support in times of trouble, spending time together, doing fun things, and being loyal. Sometimes this card means that someone has a crush on you. Reversed. When this card is reversed, it might mean that a friendship is changing. Perhaps a friend is moving away or going on to a different school. Maybe you may not want to be friends with someone because they let you down. This reversal could mean that you might want to think about who's in your circle. Are your companions good for you? Or are they leading you down the wrong path? And the question for this card is, how can you be a better friend? And also, I think about being a friend to ourselves, being a good friend, showing up for ourselves, because I think sometimes we're the hardest on ourselves. So before we leave, I think this is an amazing deck. I hope if you're curious or want to give a gift to a younger person, this is perfect. Also, I think it's a must for inner child work that we do. And so I have an old teacup that belonged to my mother and a little spoon with a crystal. So I'll stir it up and we will pick a charm. I'll pick a charm out of here. Let's take a look and see what comes up. Butterfly. So what does a butterfly mean for you today? Butterflies, they start out as that caterpillar and go through that chrysalis phase. And then they come out as this beautiful butterfly. So it can talk about the card we just spoke of, change. And then also we think of butterflies, sometimes we'll see a butterfly and it can remind us of someone that passed. It can be a message also to live life lightly, gently, playfully. So this might mean something in your life for you today. I'll blow out our candle. So make a wish. I'll give you a second. Okay. Until we meet again, peace always.